I've been playing the guitar and learning the guitar for 30 years, and I've been teaching the guitar for almost 2 decades. And in those almost 2 decades, one of my favorite aspects is learning about how and observing how people most effectively learn to play the guitar. And here's what I've come up with. People learn best when they give a shit. Which is exactly why I always say, all of the musical lessons that you need to know are embedded in the songs that you love. For example, I could go ahead and show you the 5 shapes of the E minor pentatonic scale, and you would say yay, and you'd walk off and go about your day, and 20 minutes later it would be most likely poof, as if nothing ever occurred. Or I could show you how to play the solo in Crown of Thorns and demonstrate how each of the little parts line up with a shape of the E minor pentatonic scale, and you will be much more likely to retain that information and use it in the future in your own jams. And that's exactly what we're doing today. The first stop on today's adventure is the often neglected, totally underappreciated 4th shape of the E minor pentatonic scale. Now, locating these shapes is one of the most important aspects of our discussion today, and the way I locate the 4th shape of the E minor pentatonic scale is it goes wherever you play a B minor shaped E minor. It's on the 7th, 8th, and 9th frets. That's where we're gonna be. So starting on the low E string, 7-10, 7-10, 7-9, 7-9, 8-10, 7-10. And notice that 8 on the B string, that's where it felt like the shape got a little wonky, but that's right where your middle finger is when you're playing B minor shaped E minor. So, and back down, 10-7, 10-8, 9-7, 9-7, 10-7, 10-7. Almost messed up there. Shape 4 of the E minor pentatonic scale. Now let's get to the solo and how it applies. We are at the 5-minute and 40-second marker in Chloe Dancer Crown of Thorns, the breakdown section where the solos happen. Starting on the B string 10th fret, give it a GBB, a great big bend. And then the 8th fret, landing on G9. Now notice how that's in our shape. And of course, the omnipresent B-double-E-Y-double-O-M Bium is the first thing. Then it's the G string 7 to 9, up to that in-between fret on the B string. It's almost like we're plucking out a little E minor chord there. So G 7-9 to B8, and then G 9-7-9, followed by, of course, one of those. The next E minor pentatonic shape of concern is shape number 2. It's going to be 3-5, 2-5, 2-5, aka the My Girl shape. Anyways, 3-5, 2-5, 2-5, 2-4, 3-5, 3-5. And this little section is going to spend its time there. Now this little section at the 6-minute mark starts with a trill, and a trill is 2 notes back and forth as fast as you can. It's not 64th notes or dotted 16th notes, it's just go as fast as you can, and often on the guitar it involves hammering on and pulling off from an open fret, which is the case here. It's the B string 3rd fret from our 2nd shape of the E minor pentatonic scale, and the open fret. So you just pluck once and pull off over and over again, so you get 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. I like to use my middle finger for trills, but then I'm going to reposition with my ring finger, and I'm going to slide from B3 to 5, and then it's E3, B5, E3, E5, with a bend, E3, landing on B5. I missed the string, that's okay. Here we go, from the trill. Is that section. Our next little piece of solo brings us to the 3rd shape of the E minor pentatonic scale. I love the 3rd shape. I love all the shapes for their own reasons, but this one starts out extra cool. It's going to be 5-7, 5-7, 5-7, and then it gets wonky. 4-7, 5-8, back to 5-7. Now, locating this shape I use the fourth shape to locate the third shape, because if I know where the fourth shape is, I'm very comfortable that this is an E minor chord, then I know where the third shape is. So here it is, one more time, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 4, 7, 5, 8, 5, 7, and back down. On to the solo, which makes stellar use of the third shape of the E minor pentatonic scale. It's this part. At the 6-minute and 7-second mark, you're going to slide up to the 5th fret of the E string, and then you're just going to go up your scale until you get to the D5, and then the A string goes 7, 5, 7. And then, a little unusual, but this is awesome, it's going to bend the D string 5th fret to cap that off. Love that little section. And the last bit we have to talk about uses shape number 1 from the E minor pentatonic scale. It's the one I say, the one we all know and love. It goes starting on E. It's the one that starts on E, so it's the open E string. Open 3, open 2, open 2, open 2, open 3, open 3. The E minor pentatonic is really cool, in particular because it's the first minor pentatonic that you can do shape 1 down at the open fret and in the next octave up high at the 12th fret. Same shape, but starting on 12. Which is not the one we're using the low one here. It's another trill. Open 2 on the G string. And then you grab that G2. You might want to use 2 fingers or maybe even 3 because we're going to try to bend it and we're close to the nut, so it's a little more difficult. And give it some bendy wiggly things, and that's it. For the representation of shape 1, actually the other trill also utilized shape 1, but we were talking about shape 2 then, so right, the open 3 on the B string. Actually, shape 1 of E minor pentatonic, you could trill them all. Jimi Hendrix loved to. Anyways, that's that. That concludes this week's installment of our trek through all the Mother Love Bone. You know, one of the things I really want to share with you in these videos to the 4 people who are still watching is that this is how I learned to play the guitar. I never got a book. I didn't take any lessons. I never said, I'm not practicing as much as I should. I never ever once, I just played stuff that I love to play. And when you do that, you can't put the guitar down. You go try to do dishes or something. Well, I'm doing maybe a bad example, but you try to go do something else, and the guitar just pulls you back in because you say, and you feel, oh my gosh, the thing I just did, that's that thing. And then you go see what that was and what it means and how it, applies to music bigger. And that's one of the things I'm hoping to share with you here in this journey through Mother Love Bone, on our way to all the Pearl Jam again, where we're going to keep doing stuff like this. So thank you so much for being here. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.